And we are live. Welcome to the Iron Lords podcast, episode number 40. And it's another glorious Sunday, and we are back at the round table on the Lord's Day. We've got Gamers versus EA, future of Disney properties, October NPD, Game Awards, and Microsoft strategy to discuss. So we're going to get right into it. So let's introduce those usual suspects at the round table. My co-host with the co-most, my brother from another mother, and the howl of the young wolf. My man, Lord Addict. How you doing, sir?
Pretty good. I just want to go on a little mini rant.
All right, let's rant, baby. Sunday.
little what? Okay.
Let's talk
people
about
over there. I don't know how exactly you pronounce the people who make XCOM, but I know that they're under
Firaxis.
You got to get your stuff together because your game on Xbox don't work. And let me explain to you. I contacted their support group. I sent the ticket in. You know what these people told me to fix this? Well, they told me, well, log out of your profile when you're going into the game and then log back into it, which, I'm sharing a digital library and I bought the game, so I can't do that. If I log out of my gamer tag, it kicks the entire game off. So I literally had to delete every profile on my Xbox, but the profile I used just to play the game.
Are you serious? Yeah. All that just
I only have Room to Kill on my Xbox right now.
No, that's the expansion, right?
Yes,
that's the expansion. The new one.
You're going to have to do that too if you want to play it.
Wow, I downloaded too for Black Friday. All right, thanks for the Lord with the rant. Letting us know. Of course, our most technical gaming lord, the solo gamer who lives for the single-player selfish experience. Semi-consistent online profile, 2 weeks. My man. Going strong. My man. Lord Sovereign. How you doing, sir?
Good, man. Everything's going good, man. This past week was a little rough, little trying, a lot of family stuff to take care of, some sicknesses to deal with. But, yesterday went out with the Lords, saw Justice League with the Lords, and, it was good to hang out with my boys. I'll say that.
Wow.
Wow. Shout out in the chat to Lord True Propaganda. We were hanging out with Lord True Propaganda last night.
Shout out. Oh, yeah. No doubt, Lord True Propaganda. What's going on, baby?
Yeah.
Some glorious ale.
Yeah.
And barbecue meats. Sizzling.
But, I'll say this about Justice League. I said, wait, what Joss Whedon got his hands on and managed to salvage helped make that movie enjoyable.
A movie, yeah.
I'll say that. I liked the chemistry between the team. That was good, apart from some little cringeworthy, one-liner moments. But
the hell with the Flash, nigga. The hell with that Flash.
No love for the Flash, yo.
Yeah, to hell with the feminine Flash. I'm down with the feminine Flash.
There's a hashtag movement going to not my Flash. Just not my Flash.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
wow. We gotta get the multiverse. Got to get on that, man. I gotta hear when they pop too.
Let me tell you something with that dude, bro. Go ahead. Let him. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You said that dude.
Oh, so you good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I mean, it was a so-so movie, but it was good to hang out with the Lord too. It was great to hang out with the Lord.
No doubt, and of course, the excess gamer, the Lord of Combat Sport, who is a man of his convictions and demands nothing less than a premium experience. Beloved. How are you doing, Lord King? How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. All right, so let's get to it real quick before we get to that other stuff. This weekend in combat sports, it started on Friday. Nobody disrespected his little baby rant. I got to do all this stuff, and I got to cut my nails, and I got to make sure that I put my hair. Man, he whining. That's the problem with society today. These little guys, I got to do thing guys. Yeah, can't mess with these guys. Little Flash guys. These are the Flash guys. He's the Flash guy.
He's the new
Flash.
Oh my God.
He's the Flash guy. He's the new Flash guy. Hey, this guy. So check it out, right? So you had combat sports this weekend, and it was a really lackluster weekend. I'm not even gonna front. The fights were good fights, but they weren't fantastic. I'm gonna get to the main event on Saturday, and that's it. Julian J. Rock Williams versus E.J. Smith. It went a 10-round lackluster fight. Yada yada yada. We all waiting for Rigondeaux Lomachenko on the 5th. It's going to be lit. That's fight of the year. That's fight of the century. Actually, when we have two gold medalists going at it. I'm like, these guys. That trust me, and it's on free TV. That's on ESPN. That's gonna be what's up. Get into the JL. In the DC
Justice League. Hey, Commander in the chat can't wait. He said he got you get you on a multiverse so y'all can rant together about this.
Yeah, it's not gonna be a real rant for me because actually I thought it was gonna be crap. To be honest with you, I really did. I love the fact that Josh Whedon went in there like Superman and he had to save the day. But you're looking at what Zack Snyder did from all accounts and everything. Zack Snyder tries to Watchmen every movie. He's the Michael Bay of superhero films. The cut and paste and use the same formula for everything. It doesn't work. I don't like the fact that he tries to make this one dude a murderer every time he gets. He's supposed to be Hope.
Who the murderer?
Man, a murder every chance he gets. Every chance he gets, he tries to put blood and evilness in this almighty being that has no reason to fear anything. Actually, he's supposed to be laughing at stuff, and you can say a lot of things for it, but it was better.
No doubt.
Anything I thought they was going to come to the table with, and it's a great foundation. But Flashpoint should fix a lot of things, especially getting rid of that Flash.
No doubt. No doubt. Lord Cognito here it was a glorious birthday week, so I got a chance to catch up some of the Lords. And,
happy birthday.
Much appreciated. The round table was represented well. I got a lot of love, so it was felt, and we got a chance to celebrate a little bit and catch some Justice League, which was cool. I mean, I liked it. I mean, it was solid, but I do feel like Marvel has the advantage of the build up and stuff. As far as developing these characters.
They just know how to build stuff up.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So based on what was presented and based on what I know, the history of what's going on with the studio and all that stuff, I thought it was solid, so that was pretty much that. But after that, you got to spread that gaming realness on the ILP. I'm not telling you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. So what are the Lord's plan? Let's get into it. Lord Addict, I'm assuming not XCOM because it's not working.
No, it's working after I did that. But
all that hard work you put in, right?
Fantasy 7. Look, to be fair, now look, I have to delete profiles on my Xbox to make a game work.
That is kind of savage, though.
Like, what if it just didn't work? Then you got to gripe.
No complaining.
I'm going to regardless.
Yeah. Yo, could you imagine he growing up in the the regular Nintendo era having to blow a cartridge? Oh boy, I gotta blow a cartridge.
I did. Thank you. You act like I came in during the 360. I had a Super Nintendo, bud.
OG status being talked. Okay.
Now he lying. Now the lies are flying.
I mean, you can sit here and say I'm lying. Ain't gonna take away from the fact that it was.
Okay. You've already said it out of your mouth that we're some old dinosaurs, and you're glad that you missed that.
I'm glad no, technically I said I'm glad I missed the Atari. I never said nothing about the Super Nintendo.
Oh, okay. Because the Super Nintendo, you didn't have to blow those cartridges. Sorry.
You had it on the N64. Thank you, my friend. Keep talking.
You did? You had a faulty one.
Okay, everyone.
Anyway, listen. I'm not gonna go at you.
You know what? I could throw my N64 against the wall and it would keep going.
Yeah, listen. I'm not gonna go at you today because I'm so happy today that you woke. Let's use this energy for positivity. Let's do it, my brother.
Keep talking.
We see you, man. Nicodemus, yo, we got you, Nick. Don't even worry about it. We doing a PlayStation one. We got you for that. Don't even worry about it. Now you was on the back of my mind.
Oh, I'm gonna talk about PlayStation right now, Nicodemus. Stay tuned.
Lord Sub, what have you been playing this week? What's going on?
Not too much, X. Like I said, I haven't been home, but so that left me to the Switch, and I got back into some Mario. Got a couple of more Moons, here and there. Mario's a good kind of palate cleanser. You can just play for a couple of minutes, get some Moons, and turn it off. So I'm in the luncheon world. So I'm doing that right now.
No doubt.
So little by little, pecking at
Little
it.
by little,
You know?
getting there. Lord King, what have you been playing this week?
I wish I could be playing Mario, but I'm telling you right now, my soul has been stolen from Assassin's Creed.
I see you going
It
in.
is my game of the year. I found myself doing things that I shouldn't be doing, laughing out loud at stuff that shouldn't be funny. Like I've actually found myself in zones where there's nothing but skulls that I can't attack
Yeah, you
anything.
can't even.
But I'm just running through stuff like, like just to open up parts of the
I'm
map.
kind of worried about you now.
That game has that thing that Far Cry also has, where you can wander into an area you have no business being in, and the wild pumas come out, and then when the wild pumas come out,
the wild pumas is loose.
the wild
I said Iron Lord's
buildings
podcast is not okay with them spoiling anything. That's all on
It's
them.
no spoilers.
Yo, listen. When you ride in your horse and a puma can smack you off your horse and have you half dead, you have not learned fear, my friend.
or the rabid hippopotami. When you
Oh God!
Oh no!
What? No, they're savages. Don't let them catch you in the water.
So that's what you've been rocking, Lord King?
That's all I've been rocking, and that's all I'm gonna rock until it's over. I knew that was gonna happen to my soul. I knew it was taken. It's taken.
That's why I was scared to start it. But yeah, I'm in the kind of same boat.
Okay. One thing I did.
Mm-hmm.
I spend real cash in there. I spend $49, son.
You spent
yo,
loot box money?
All right, check it out. I got the game for free, right? So, I have $200 that was sitting in my account. So I could not let them have the IRA stick there, and I not buy it. And then I was like, yo, what really threw me over the edge is I had logged in one day. And I saw a horse. It said the Nightmare Package. I
saw that on your Twitter profile. I was like, where did he get this from? Yeah, where did he get this?
Yes. I said, well, hello. So I said, let me go to the store and see, right? Let me just see. So I went to the store and I said, oh no, that has to be purchased, right? So then I went to the recommendation on what they had, and the recommendation was $49, and it gives you all this bread. Literally, once you have the $49 package, you can buy everything. I went and brought everything. I'm out here beating stuff that I should not be beating. You know those dudes with the little red horns on their head, the bounty hunters? I'm hunting them, and I'm level 21.
You're out of control. We gotta put you on timeout. This premium edition that you running with is too strong.
Pay to win.
Lord Kaibatsu said, "All hail Lord Moneybags, first of his name, premium of all editions."
Thank you. Yo, Kaibatsu, I missed you last week. Your presence in the chat is sorely needed to balance out Anchorman. All right, because he's running wild. He was running wild last week.
You went about the chat, no doubt. So yeah, pretty much the same thing for me. I mean, actually, touch Assassin's Creed Origins. I was getting that on. That is so immersive, so much fun. Black Friday sale went down. What I copped Life is Strange Part 2. Got a good discount on that. And Lord Addict, I copped the XCOM War of the Chosen. I refused to pay the full price on that DLC, which never went down in price, but finally went down in price for Black Friday. So I got that digital sale going on. So yeah,
like the whole $10 doesn't make a huge deal, but it's the principle. I won't pay.
It's principle, right? Like, come on, y'all know that DLC been out for mad long. Y'all still charging.
Last week the game was more the DLC was more expensive than the game.
Yeah, man.
That's
shout out
crazy.
to my man Lloyd Kaibatsu hooking me up with my first digital gift on Xbox. He hooked me up. He got me the Final Fantasy Super Deluxe Premium HDR version. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
that's
exactly. Anyone in the chat that doesn't know their gifting is working, get the room to kill, and you can find out.
Addict trying to eat.
Yo, that's his OMO, the mooch. He's back. Yo, but I can't wait to gift Lord Dizzy and Lord Sovereign their PUBG game. It's gonna be a nice brutal.
Man, it was word. No
Speaking
doubt.
for me.
Man, it was work.
Yeah.
So now that we got that out
And the real game comes out at the end of December.
yes. Yes, sir. So last week's we had a poll. The ILP poll results are in, and the people have spoken to the question. Now that the beast has arrived at Xbox One X, has Microsoft kept its word with the Xbox One X and restored the feeling? The winner at 71% in fairly dominant fashion was the yes. Microsoft is heading in the right direction and restored the feeling group. Coming in at second at only 29% was no. This is just the honeymoon phase. They got no games group.
Wow. Those are the dudes that don't got one. They don't got one. You don't got one. You mad? You 29%. You don't got one.
You're out of control. Shout out to over.
You broke. You mad?
You're too premium right now. Shout out to over 400 who participated in last week's poll. Turnout was lit. What do the Lords think about it? We know what Lord King thinks about it. Lord Saul, what do you think about that?
I mean, absolutely, they absolutely restored that feeling, man. Like, they weren't lying about the power of the system. The system still surprises you as to what it can do. As a matter of fact, yesterday I stopped by my parents' house and I was able to see Lord Kaibatsu through on. And AC Rogue runs at 60 frames per second off the rip with nothing.
That's crazy.
Whatsoever. Like,
That's
so
crazy.
it's this, the system is still surprising you at what it can do. If you go through your entire backlog, I'm sure you'll find a lot of little things that pleasantly surprise you. The machine is a beast. The Phil talking about what in the first party stuff and so next year to me, the year that L is out the window, I think only good things are coming.
No doubt. Yeah, that's a good piece of hardware. I'm seeing a lot of positive response, so that's always good. So shout out to everybody in the poll. We got a new one cooking up on the ILP Twitter at the end of the show, so stay tuned. So we're gonna get into these round table topics on this glorious Sunday. We got my man Lord Addict. He is up. Heard some companies might be scared. What's going on, Lord? Who's scared out here?
I don't necessarily think it's companies. I think it's a company. But EA, they made some shady decisions when it came to Star Wars Battlefront 2. With the I don't think you could technically call this a pay to win, but it's like in the middle, because I feel like a pay to win scenario is something that you can only get through paying and not playing. So I feel like it's like in the middle, but a lot of people weren't happy. I even think some major news outlets picked this up. So what I wanted to, bring to the table is Disney actually got wind of this because they bought the Star Wars brand to promote it, obviously build off the franchise. They spent a lot of money on it, and with one of the reasons that they do these Star Wars Battlefronts and these is it's no coincidence that it comes out around the same time as their movies do.
Absolutely.
So they don't want it's complete backlash. It's like you're downgrading the name because of the game, which is supposed to help sell the movie, but as of right now, before they made that call, it might have looked like that game was going to hurt the movie.
So it looks like
Disney made a phone call and they fixed it.
Yeah, that's what the streets are talking. It looks like we got a new challenger has appeared. Is that Mega Man?
I heard what was going on. I heard King disrespecting.
You still disrespected? How?
Lord Anchor, man.
You gotta
Star Wars. The Twitter streets have been very angry with you with your disrespect of the Star Wars franchise and lore. We want you to get your perspective and be able to defend yourself on the Iron Lord platform. What's your feeling on this whole bit?
So first off, Star Wars. I grew up on Star Wars. I was the guy who was watching like Return of the Jedi like every Sunday ever since I was 6.
Okay, so you're a Star Wars head. Okay, all right.
I was.
Wow.
I grew up on it, and like I played the Battlefront series in particular. I loved Battlefront. That was amazing. I remember I played it on PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3. I just remember playing it all the time, and it was just I love Battlefront, and especially I think what set the tone first is for this whole Disney reinvigoration of the Star Wars franchise is playing Battlefront 2015.
Okay.
And that was just a god awful game. It was
Battlefront. It wasn't well received.
It was so bad. I just couldn't believe that Disney would even like sign off on this, like to allow anyone to use the Star Wars.
Do you guys think Disney like knows a whole lot that's going on over there, or do you?
Oh, they do.
Or do you think
Disney has been doing this whole big thing lately, where they're really trying to manage their IPs, and they don't have any loyalty. Like they took the Marvel license, they took Marvel license away from Activision. They're like, okay, Square's getting this one, Capcom's getting this, and we're gonna do this, and they have like no company gets anything. It's the only reason EA has that is because they had the long-term deal beforehand, and so it's just such a frustrating thing to watch, especially if you're from Disney's perspective. Watching EA make these calls, which just results in bad product placement, really.
Yeah,
it's just bad brand management, and it's frustrating to watch, especially. And like, I'm not gonna get into the movies necessarily because I think the movies are garbage lately. But so.
Whoa!
He's
how your young buck behind gonna jump up in here and start going at franchises when they making it better for you?
Not better for me, man.
You know what I'm gonna say.
They're busy trying to appease you, dinosaurs. You guys are so old. Disney's trying to tame you an arc.
Yeah. Well, okay. I'm glad that you walked in here with your fake beef. Here he goes. We got to work with these weirdos. Let's do it. All right. So, explain to you what you may not get. If I buy something from you that was profitable and I give you X amount of dollars, I want that money back and then some. So I'm going to have to casualize what you just had as hardcore so I can bring in the real money. And what Disney's doing is bringing in the real money while still appeasing certain people. That's why you have a Darth Vader / Darth Maul character. You understand? So, in Kylo Ren. And I love the protagonist and I love the antagonist in this. The female is going to get a new base. Because that's what they was begging for before, instead of having a feminine heroine in a subservient role. You got one that's in a dominant role. So now that you have that, and you also have a strong male characters that are surrounding her, while giving you same old characters where you have in Luke Skywalker. Everything, and building a base, and giving all the other people a chance to get on board. So you can say you have problems with the script. Yeah, maybe. Okay, of course. Because remember, those first 3 films was standalone films, and it was over. They blew up the Death Star. How's it gonna keep coming back? They keep bringing this Death Star back. So, but they got to make their money. Now, I understand you may say, "Oh, you may not like it," but you go see it, and your money counts. You vote with your wallet, and I appreciate your side talking. Thank you, Don King. Goodbye.
Let me ask you this real quick, Lord King. Like, do you feel, as far you mentioned the points as far as like Rey is the female protagonist and stuff like that in a dominant position, and like, do you feel like it's doing a good job of bringing the young generation to the old generation, like kind of like marrying both worlds, or like because obviously there's a disconnect. Lord Anchorman is not feeling this, so I'm just trying to say, what's the counter argument to that?
Traditional formula is having a strong male role, a subservient female role, in the background someplace. Like, you go do that, sir. I'll stand here and hold down court. And, and then also having a villain that is equally as strong. In this, you have a female that's going up against a very strong male role, because remember, Kylo Ren is probably, if not the strongest dark side welder that has ever been, can rival him. So we're trying to figure out if she's going to go left, if she's going to go right, how's everything going? And the stories are just evolving to bring in that crowd. Remember, there's been a female movement forever, and they're finally starting to get the light with Wonder Woman and the likes. These movies are needed, necessary for voices to be heard.
For the culture.
Yeah.
For the culture, for gender progression. I got you on that. My question, I don't want to get too off track because I know we get back to the shakeness of EA.
So but I know why EA did it, though. I know why. So, that's why. To say his point, right? I'm saying EA had to do that because Disney looked across the table and said,
"No."
When Twitter is going crazy and people are making podcasts talking only about the loot crates and damaging the game before the game is actually launched. If you damage the game, you're going to damage the movie.
Okay. Facts.
And they say, take it out. Just take it out. Mm-hmm. And they was like, what? We're not going to make bread. Here's some money. Take it out.
Lord Saab, what do you feel about the whole thing? Did you feel it was gamers make that movement happen? Like, what did you feel about
I think in a way they did, because let's be clear. Disney was not in the dark about this. Disney knew the way that Disney controls their properties, and we'll get into my topic later on. It kind of leads into that. Mm-hmm. But they're very controlling, especially of Star Wars and especially of Marvel stuff. They knew exactly what was going on. Now, had the masses not revolted on this, you would hear zip from them. It would just be in the game, and they're making extra money, and they're cool with that. The moment it becomes a PR issue, where the success of the game, and like Addict said, it's no mistake that this game comes out so close to the release of another movie. So yeah, there's a domino effect there. They know full well that negative press from this, and some people may argue that Star Wars is impervious to this. Right, Star Wars, no matter what. If you see the sales of the first Battlefront, you're like, it doesn't matter. It's still going to sell. It's still going to make the money. But you can only have so much negative press around something before the narrative changes completely around it, and that negativity propagates, and it really affects it. And that if beyond the bottom line being affected, Disney cares about perception. Perception is key.
Yes, absolutely.
Like with the whole thing with the Marvel movies and such. Like even though if they have a movie that's not as good as the other ones, like they because they have that perception of quality, people give it more of a pass. It was because they had the idea of like, oh, they're taking the time, they build up the work, and because they have that perception, they're able to get away with a lot more.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think also we have to keep in mind, I mean, didn't this thing hit mainstream news at one point, right?
It did. I actually heard it on the news. I was listening to talk radio at work, and I was just like, and someone says like, EA's new Star Wars Battlefront that came out is under a lot of fire. I was like, what?
Absolutely. So it's like,
the moment
it's one of
that
those
happened,
things.
it was over. Disney.
It was over. So I mean, let's get back to again what Lord Ack was saying in reference to We had this discussion with loot boxes before on previous ILPs, right? And how do we handle it? Microtransactions, and what do we do, and what's the best effort? And I want to say, like, do we feel, as far as like because of the strength of social media in this day and age, right? And we seen those Reddit posts. I mean, quote me if I'm wrong, Lord Anchor. Like that Reddit post was kind of like the most downvoted Reddit post in history.
It was in history. It was like 600,000 downvotes or something.
Right. Now give me the backdrop. Now give me the backdrop. Now this was from the EA community manager who posted a statement.
I believe that's right. Basically, they went out there and tried to damage control, saying like, "Oh, we're listening, but we're still gonna do what we're gonna do. We thought this would be a nice little way to handle this." And basically, it was an apology without apologizing.
Right.
It's like, we're sorry you're mad. That's it.
But didn't they make a statement, almost to the statement, like, we want to make it so that, you have to earn it and go through these hours of progression so you could feel a sense of accomplishment when you get to Darth Vader.
40 hours to get Luke Skywalker.
They're trying to shame the victim. Like, we're victimized by this. And they're like, we're sorry you felt this way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah.
No doubt. So, Lord Attic, I know you're not a fan of EA and these practices and what's been going on. So, what do you feel? You feel this is a W for the gamers? Like, what's your whole feeling on your own topic?
I feel like the only reason, I get, with the boycotting thing, but I feel like this is one of those occasions where this won't rarely happen. Like, I'd be surprised if I see this ever happen again, because with certain companies, like, the only reason this happened is because Disney's not in the gaming industry. They usually let people use their IPs to make games. And because it was riding off of a movie that they have a lot of money invested into, like, for the most part, when these games are made, it's published by gaming a company in the gaming industry. It's made by a company in the gaming industry, and they only care about the money coming in the gaming industry. When it comes to Star Wars, that's leaking over to the movie industry. The whatever kind of action figures or any kind of toys that they're making. Like, Disney couldn't afford to lose dollars because EA want to make pennies.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's a fact. I mean, the brand is important to them, and they seem not to want any negative connotation. And to your point, it's like I've never seen in the history of gaming where the day before release they axe microtransactions completely, right? I've never seen that. Usually it's backlash or whatever. So I want to get into that point before we bleed into the Saul's point, is that obviously we know that it is the W right now. There is the victory. It's been removed. But there was a statement.
Now.
Exactly.
Now.
There was a statement that it was very crafted, very nice by the PR people. It says that they, for now, as they figure out, how to get the systems working correctly and more efficiently, so
they figure out how to hide it from you again.
Exactly. So this is where I'm at with it. Like, where I'm at with it, like, yes, this is a W for gamers, but let's be clear, like, don't get finessed. This is coming back. You know what I'm saying?
AKA.
After 40% have reached a couple of hours, then
there you go.
Pop up.
No, it's not even that. I think what happened is Disney's like, look, you don't have to ask this stuff, but I don't want to see it till after the movie comes out.
Exactly. And honestly, I think what they're going to do, the new wave is, I think this just set a precedent for other companies to say, okay, we might not necessarily be able to don't do this around the launch.
Yeah, don't do it at launch.
Don't do it at launch. Let us get that early money, get them pre-orders, get everything positive popping.
Get all the goodwill.
Exactly. Then you sneak it through the back door. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe a month, 2 months. You know what I'm saying? After the, the releases calm down, and then you go. Because if I remember, tell me if I'm wrong, I remember I used to play Battlefield hardcore. And then after the early Battlefield 4, let's say Battlefield 4, Lord King, right? And I remember maybe 2 months into the cycle, you would see these DLCs that would give you the progression to unlock everything from the support class and the medic class. You don't remember this stuff? So it's the same thing. I think what they're realizing is, we cannot do this ever again. In the beginning of the cycle, put it in the middle, because make no mistake, y'all, these are coming back.
Not with that IP, where a boss will literally buy you and fire everybody.
The big thing about it.
He's the Batman.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say that the thing is, you're gonna probably see this more because a lot of reviews now are reporting on microtransactions. This year has been microtransactions has been reported more than any other year on a people's review. Look at Shadow of War. You all these games are getting reported on. And so now they don't want that negative press, and so watch it be from now on that at launch there's no to minimal microtransactions. Then all of a sudden, after a month or two, after all the reviews are written and everybody's done, then it's gonna start. Then all the microtransactions get put in there when it's too late.
Completely agree. I think this is they're realizing what they can and get away with, and I think that's going to be the new finesse moving forward. But
I think when it came down to it is they really didn't care what people said. I don't think they expected Disney to reach their hand in the jar.
Well, I'm a hypocrite. I'm a hypocrite. I'm raising my hand in hypocrisy. I'm waving my hypocrisy flag.
Go ahead, Lord Shallow.
Yes, thank you. I'm in the baby pool with water to my ankles. Lord Shallow. Sorry, I just brought a super loot crate from Activision. Shout out to Activision for making that available for us premium holders. You know, and if Battlefront wants to bring the microtransactions back out, and I can pick up Darth Maul for the early. I'm down. I got some bread that's in my account.
You down for that microtransaction smoke?
Yes, I'm down. I want that work. Let's go.
I'm done with you. Lord Saul, man. I know you want to talk about Disney, Walt Disney on this, so I'm going to let you rock out, bleed into this Lord Disney situation.
Yeah, so piggybacking off of Addict's topic and how gamers managed to scare the crap out of EA and Disney, you know, sticking their foot in there too, because that is very important. My question today is, did Disney make a mistake in getting out of the publishing and development game and handing over their third parties and handing over their properties to third-party developers? And I know months ago when they made it clear that they had completely gotten out of the publishing game, and they announced the Square Enix deal, they announced the continuation of the Lego deal, and then the EA deal. We said, you know what, this is great, because they know the strength of their properties. They're handing it over to these AAA developers that have the infrastructure, that have the know-how to handle these properties well, and without them having to worry about doing it themselves. You know, the last few games that came out of their publishing wing, you know, obviously they had Disney Infinity, which was very popular for a long time. But once the game, the Toys to Life stuff died down, that died with it. And then you have your Epic Mickey 1 and 2, which had some kind, you know, a little bit of a following, but nothing huge. So it made sense to hand over their properties to these companies. Now, the problem is, and this is where I'm not sure how much Disney knows and how much they follow it. They could, my perception is that they could not have known the shifts in the gaming industry that we're going to take this, especially with EA doing it, jumping over to this microtransaction loot crate sort of economy to extend the life of their games, and the negative reaction that would have, the negative connotations it would have on the perception of their games and their properties. So it's just one of those things. Like, do you think, in a lot of ways, they're still better off because they don't have to do any of that stuff in-house, and they in terms of creating a game, their games are in good hands in that regards. But the business around it now is very murky and is very, like we've seen, it's very capable of putting a black stain on their most beloved properties, which is absolutely what Disney does not want.
He said the black stain.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Do you know why, though? Do you want to know why they think this is okay? Why they kept it that way? Because you morons thought it was okay with Star Wars Battlefront 1.
I'm not in that boat. Thankfully, I didn't touch that.
No, I'm talking to people in general. Because Battlefront 1 was almost just as bad. It had no content, and they put all the stuff behind season passes and all this other stuff, and everyone was okay because it's Star Wars. They put up with it.
I wasn't okay because they didn't have a true single player campaign.
Yeah, that's what I needed, and that's why I got it on EA Access.
Star Wars, but I played it on EA Access. Yeah. I liked the Battlefront 2 campaign so far. I mean, I played maybe 2 missions or so, but I thought at least that they had a good attempt. And from my understanding, I'm not the hardcore Star Wars guy, but doesn't this lead up to the movie? Like, isn't it some type of parallel with that, or am I wrong?
It's the period between Episode 6 and Episode 7.
Right. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, so far, I mean, it seemed good. I hear where you're going though. Like, trust me, I definitely wasn't a fan of that first one. Saul, you want to jump in? I mean,
in terms of Star Wars and stories, I've always felt that the best stories in the Star Wars universe are the ones about the world, what's happening in the world around the galaxy, not necessarily Jedis and Sith and all this stuff. But
like Rogue One.
Exactly, like stuff
you mean fan fiction
on the outskirts. Yeah, but a fan fiction is fine. You already know how Anchor feels about that.
I just finished watching it. I just finished watching Rogue One. It was my third attempt to finally watch it. It took me 3 days to watch it.
This guy here, these guys with these preconceived biases, they just want it. I just want it the same way. Make my cookie the same way. Stop making my cookie different. No.
That's not the issue. The issue with the Star Wars franchise now is they're trying to be too similar to all the ones prior. I like the prequels more than this new stuff because the prequels at least tried something new. It was different.
Lord Sam Silvers in the chat said to just shut down your disrespect to Rogue One right now.
I can't listen to him.
What is your main issue with Rogue One? Like, I mean, I still don't get it. You don't think they're good movies? Like, you really don't like them like that?
I can't listen to him.
I watched Rogue One. See, okay, Force Awakens, I was kind of like, all right, it's okay. Like, but it's not that good. My big issue being it was too similar.
Thank you, Attic. Please, man. Come on, would somebody attack this man?
Am I the only one that's noticed that this dude doesn't like a franchise? Anything this thing comes out is like graded with such high expectations.
Yes, I was gonna say that. He does not like what is popular. Like if everyone he goes against the grain. He like, that's not all that. Like y'all say it. You didn't go against the grain. You gotta put that out.
Doing it, like it's just I've noticed that it's a habit with you. Just to hate. You are
the contrarian.
Yeah, he's the contrarian. Lord Contrarian.
You remember when I was on Twitter with my rampage with Anchor, man, like completely joking. I didn't even see Suicide Squad, and I was saying I seen it. It was the best movie ever. And this dude thought I thought I'd kidnapped his mom or something.
But that was it was a popular opinion that Suicide Squad sucked because it did.
But if it did. It doesn't matter. Listen, if the narrative becomes that it sucked because it sucked, then you can't be called a bandwagoner. Like, so I can't,
No, his new name is J2H. Just to hate.
Just to hate.
But I would say, man, for the last 2 years, my motto's been everything you love is garbage.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. You know what?
You know what? Thank you for living up to that propaganda. Next topic, because this dude here is gonna keep putting his rhetoric.
Let's go back.
But Rogue One. But the thing with Rogue One, I think I had an issue with was it watched like fan fiction, where it was, let me have the super original character who has no faults. Like what? Literally, I watched the movie and I can't remember what her name is. I think the only character I thought was interesting was the robot, the Empire robot, which was cool. But other than that, though, it was just kind of like literally. I ask you one question. Name one fault that she had with her character.
Oh my God!
Yo, you really overthinking this. You really he's bugging.
Is she bad at anything?
He takes like his little note paper.
What's her name? I'll ask you a question. What's her name?
I don't know, but I know that she's a rebel. And
see, here's the thing. She
likes to rebel. She wants to join the rebellion.
I'll make this an easier question. I'll make this an easier question. Name one character that was new introduced. Give me one name.
Are we talking about Rogue?
Yeah, Rogue One.
All right.
I asked this is one new character. Give me one name.
Spoiler alert.
You realize the reason that no one knows her name, no one knows any kind of reference to any of these people is because they died.
Exactly.
What that's telling me is that they're just not memorable characters.
Oh my God! Look, we're gonna go on all day.
Yo, he literally came in here and hijacked the show. I'm telling you, stop falling for his crap. Don't give him the George Foreman mic and shut it off.
Listen, back to Lloyd Sarver's point as far as Disney, and I think that what we got to look at right now is that being that they're kind of hands off, this is kind of like the first time with this EA situation that they've gotten hands on because it gave them negative light. Also we see what happened to Marvel Heroes. There was a rumor that there was some type of misconduct by the higher ups and the action of one, which caused the whole studio now to be shut down, and Marvel to pull their contract from them. So it's interesting to see the effect of negative publicity and what it can do in gaming. And I think, maybe Disney now does take a more hands-on approach as far as, having a little bit more control and watching their properties and stuff like that. But that's what I got to say on it. I don't know what the Lord's got to say on the rest of it on Disney. Oh, we good. All right, so we're good.
But we're not
there's not a lot of scenarios where this is going to happen. There's just not. Like, anything pretty much Disney owns, this could happen to, because you got to have a company that cares about their IPs more than they care about the money. I
don't think that's necessarily true, though. I don't think, like I said, if they had not been in uproar over this, we wouldn't have heard anything.
Well, that's the reason. They care about their IP more than they care about the little money that game would have got.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And there's a rumor, again, don't quote me, this is a rumor. I've been hearing that because of what happened with EA, that there's a rumor that they're unhappy and that the exclusivity deal might be threatened. I don't know how true that is, but I did hear that from some sources, especially on Reddit and stuff. So again,
well, please do. Get it out of their hands. Let's go. Give it to Bungie. Let's go. Come on, now. Let's
my God.
What?
Let's do it. Let's turn this. Let's get a real MMO out there.
Man.
People don't like what's going on with Destiny. Let's Star Wars it up, baby. Let's do it.
Let's go from Beelzebub to the devil. Let's go to Activision.
I know who you want to get it. You want Blizzard to get it. Get out of our podcast with this crap.
No, you should go to Blizzard because you should go to Bethesda. That actually.
Whatever. I forgot you was down with one of them two.
I would be okay with that.
I would not.
Oh, yeah, there's no microtransactions for you to exploit.
Oh, no, it's just a gun to your head telling you to buy a DLC that has no description of what it is. Buy that, or tomorrow it's double the price. That, sir, is bad business.
You'd buy it anyway.
You know what? I want my money back. I want my money back. You know what? I want my money back from you because I never played any of that crap. I want my money back.
And on that note, we're gonna move on. I'm gonna jump in right here. We got it's actually two-part topic. So the first part is going to be the October NPDs have released. And once again, the Switch gang is victorious. They had another successful month, taking both the #1 and #2 best-selling console spots. So additional Super Mario Odyssey was the top-selling game, but that's physical for those 5 days. But actually, the top NPD game went to Middle Earth Shadow War. Shout out to Lord Attic. He's a huge fan of Shadow War. So they were the top selling game of the month. The Super Nintendo did not count digital scale sales, so they need to get on that. And I believe in the top 5, like I said, we had Mario. We had Middle Earth Shadow War. We had Assassin's Creed Origins at #2. So that poll that we did have with who would finish, it looks like it was the Assassin's Creed and Mario Odyssey combo. And unfortunately, Lord Anchor, Wolfenstein wasn't on the list.
No, and keep in mind, Wolfenstein didn't have any online sales either counted on this one either. So
they did not, but they're not counting that. But that's not counting online sales. Just curious.
Nope.
That's because they didn't count it for that $30 price because they didn't feel comfortable paying that for it.
That's interesting. So yeah, just those numbers.
Low Cognito, your mic sounds a little weird.
Yeah, you know a body.
What? I'm still botting now.
Yeah, you're botting out.
Yeah.
All right, I'll try to hardwire as fast as I can. But what Lord think about it?
Yes, I mean, I'm not surprised. I don't think anyone's really surprised out of this one. I mean, Wolfenstein, as comparatively, is not as big of a franchise as Assassin's Creed, which had a year off. So when people actually wanted to play it, and Mario Odyssey, which was okay.
Lord.
Yo, you just anything that's popular, right?
Wow.
Anything that's popular.
Everything you love, I hate.
Stop letting him wave that flag, man. Shut his flag down, man. Set fire to his flag, man.
No, I mean, I played it and I had a good time with it. It was like good 8 out of 10 game.
That's it. You purchased it. That's it. Next.
Yeah, I purchased it and I also traded it in, got my 30 back.
That's good. I'm glad that you did that. You purchased it. Your trade-in doesn't count, sir. Thank you. I'm not gonna do this with you today. Today is not gonna be your day. It's not happening with you today. We're gonna talk about stuff in this podcast that we talk about. We're not doing that right there. That's not gonna happen. Podcast police is in the building.
Think about this.
Oh, that's fantastic. Like I said, I voted for Assassin's Creed Mario. I knew it would be that combination for the simple fact Assassin's Creed is actually something that we care about this year. And the Mario, the juggernaut, bro. We've been waiting for that juggernaut to hit that switch, and it's on. And I honestly, to be honest with you, I'm so happy for Nintendo that they're riding a wave of good, positive results, and it's yielding financial gain for them. It doesn't help me out at anything, but it helps out the longevity of a console that I purchased. So,
No doubt.
whatever.
Now, Lord Addict, I got to throw you in here because Bend the Knee is approaching. And we have 1 month.
You're still botting in and out.
You're gonna have to
he
leave
is.
and come back.
Yeah.
But I mean, just
Y'all
as Bend the Knee approaching. I mean, you so. I mean, we talk about November, not October. So,
Yeah.
I fail to see the relevance.
I'm down with you. I'm holding out, baby. I'm holding out, baby. I'm so happy that the Xbox One X has sold anything in Japan. Those sales will be counted.
That's 1,727. That's towards that number, not what?
No, actually, it's more than that. It's 1,843.
Lord Sam.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just a little bit worried that as great as Nintendo's doing, I'm happy about that. I'm worried that they busted their gun a little early. Like, you know, I'm hoping that they have some carryover for November. You know, I don't want
Robot.
there's some units left.
There's going to be carryover, obviously, but it's not going to be. I feel like a good percentage bought that in October, and a small percentage is going to buy that in November.
Yes.
Yeah.
Y'all still buying? I'm still doing the same thing. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you just a little robot.
What you might have to do is just mute entirely the ticket count, and then just join it on your phone or something like that. That's what I do. That's what I do all the time.
All right, no doubt. Y'all continue.
But you know, I still think they got it in November, man. Like, well, this month, I still think they got it because. You know, this thing is doing more numbers than I originally anticipated. And you guys remember I was giving this shit. This ain't going to do nothing.
I'm so happy that it's, you know what it is the fact that what Phil's vision was, you know, these guys at Microsoft got a chance to see what it does and how it transforms old games. If anybody gets a chance to see what it does to old games, I don't care what you're saying. You're like, I'm getting rid of my S. This got to go to get this. Like, I'm so happy that, you know, Anchor, to be honest with you, when we was talking, you know, background talk, and, you know, I was really thinking about, damn, how can my man get one? You understand? Because I'm seeing it from this perspective, and I'm like, how can my man get one? And then I saw the Twitter pic and stuff like that, and I was really elated. Like, inside, I felt really good. And if other people get a chance to see that, not in the environment of a Best Buy or a Target or whatever, in the environment of your home and the game that you love, that you put in, and it becomes new again, that instant gratification of what it does is instant. It's not a promise of later. It's a promise of now. And when you see it, you're like, whoa. That's crazy.
Effect. It's the Steam effect. When you get a brand new graphics card in your computer, the first thing you do is go to Steam and see how that changes your games. Like,
and the thing that pushed me over the edge about the whole issue was that when I watched, John Lenneman from Digital Foundry posted the picture of Wolfenstein: The New Colossus being super sampled on 1080p, and I put like 20, 30 hours into Wolfenstein. It's like I have been around that corner at least 60 times. And when I saw that and it was improved, I was like, wow, I need that now.
And it has, I got a question for you. Has it justified your purchase? Being that you wasn't a day one purchaser and you didn't, you know, pre-order it or whatever, and you saw it after the fact, after you got it in your house and you decided to check on your own, did it justify your purchase after seeing it?
For me, I played a bunch of older games. Yeah, my thing was I wanted to see what performance was. Mm-hmm. And right now, the game that's telling me this was worth it is Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
Because a game with no patch, a game with nothing. And that game, I used to think it used to be the netcode, which is the reason why I ran like garbage. Because it was like, if you were trying to play with anyone that had any sort of ranged attacks or a lunging attack, it was basically unplayable. There was no way you could get any kills with that.
Right.
And so it was such a pain in the ass to do. And so I noticed it, especially with that one, because then the frame rate was staying locked, and then it was like everything ran smooth. And now if you have an X, you have an advantage. You can actually kill people.
Yeah.
And you can get them the first try. And I also noticed it too, especially with Overwatch. Anytime a new character comes out with our Overwatch, anytime a new character comes out whatsoever, what will happen is everybody rushes whoever the new character is. And with Overwatch, because you load the game the fastest out of the group, you have at least a clear 10 to 15 seconds to pick whoever you want, and everyone else is still trickling in.
Yeah.
So you get the advantage to pick who you want to play as first.
I said that a couple of times with what I experienced with Destiny. Loading in the map before the NPCs loaded it. And I was like, crazy fall on a nightfall. I was literally, the nightfall where you got to get past the 2 tanks? Before my team to load in, I was already at the tank room, hitting the switches, shooting the second tank as it came down, and then the NPCs was dropping in, and these guys was coming into the board. It was the first day that happened, and I was like, this is savage, and I love every drop of it. But I love Mirror's Edge. Shout out to Lord Chris. We saw that together, him in his house, me in my house. We weren't really together. But putting the game on and seeing the 360 game running in 4K, it was kind of like, this is the first time it lived up to the promise. We had PlayStation 2, which didn't live up to the promise. Remember when we saw the Final Fantasy, the guys moving, and we like, oh, it's going to look like that. That's CGI. We're going to get it. No. When the Nintendo 64, remember before they went to cartridge and they was on disc and they was showing that Final Fantasy and all that other stuff, we never received those graphics. A lot of stuff that we
so basically what you're saying is coming close to what these actual renders and promises.
Yeah, you still Robot Man.
That's what it is.
So
we did the whole thing. That's the thing when I try to do it.
We're gonna work with it. No, it's Phil didn't lie. Phil didn't lie. And he said it's going to help out all your older games. You're going to see it. It's going to be immediate. And everybody thought it was hoopla. Thought it was hype. Thought it was the loser in the background trying to divert your attention from the PlayStation juggernaut. And it wasn't. It was just actual facts. It was actual factual. I mean, this is going to go into my topic a little bit later, and I'm going to tell you exactly the crap that's going on now. But I'm really happy for anyone that was able to purchase a system that could not afford any games. If you couldn't afford any games, and this Black Friday, get Game Pass, it's $1. And you put in your old games, they're new again. Those games that you didn't finish, you go back and you're like, whoa. I'm actually going back to play Gears of War 4 with Lil Cognito because he didn't get a chance to play it, and he had a game that he had on the shelf that he wanted to get into, and it's awesome. Who said that he's confirmed was not with Lil Chris while watching Mirror's Edge? Yo, he's so stupid.
No doubt. Which I want to do. If I'm still botting, you might have to crash it and bring it back. That's what you guys want to do.
Well, I was gonna say all you have to do is literally what I do whenever I have a situation like this is I'll take my laptop wherever I'm hosting the show on, mute everything, mute all the sound, and then just literally click the link on my phone to join, and then just join it on your account.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it from the phone because I've tried different things, mic, the whole bit. But you got, and I'm even hardwired right now, which is
You
weird.
should be able to leave and come back.
But if I leave, it's gonna drop the load, the rest of the load.
Nah,
No.
it'll be fine for about 5 minutes. So as long as you just come
All right,
back.
let me give that. Let me get that shot. All right, cool. Keep talking.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
But yeah, like the game I want to test out real quick. Like this is the one I can't do it right now, but I'm also waiting for the patch on. Is Fallout 4. Because with Fallout 4, because that one hasn't gotten the official patch just yet. But the big thing I want to see with that one is the draw distance and how quickly everything loads in. Because there's a mod that I use. It's the reverse flash mod, and so you can play with like the reverse flash suit. You can run real fast. And so with the other game, like if you put yourself up to max speed, within like at least 5-6 seconds, you can hit the end of the render. It won't go any farther. You're going at the max speed there, and that's like blink and you miss the entire town, like that kind of speed. It's really crazy, and I want to try it on the X eventually, whenever that patch comes through, because they're supposed to be increasing the render distance and how far the trees load in. So that's what I want to see, and then there's god lighting and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, see, it gives you stuff to look forward to in older games. I got a big list of games that I want to play. The Final Fantasy. I saw Digital Foundry did a whole thing on Final Fantasy for the Pro versus the X, and I played it on the Pro, and I ended it on the Pro, and I said, you know what, I'm want to get it for the X. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm gonna fit it in with all these games, because I'm picking up Shadow of War this week for the Black Friday. It's a lot of games I want to pick up the Forza. There you go, sound way better.
You got to join with the other one. You can't join with the Iron Lords one.
Great. Continue, Lords. Well, I forgot my issue.
Yes. Yeah. So it's a lot of games that I want to play, and is this the best time in video gaming? I mean, from a PlayStation standpoint, to a Nintendo standpoint, to Xbox standpoint, to be playing. I mean, because we're at a pinnacle point right now where the fidelity and the sound actually meet. Because before we was getting great sound, Dolby Digital Sound, Dolby Surround Sound, Dolby Atmos sound. We're getting these sounds, but the fidelity actually wasn't there. Now with this 4K systems, we're actually getting fidelity, and we're getting the ambiance to go with it. We're at a point right now where it's merging. I mean, and the controls is there because of the 60 frames per second, or 30 frames locked. It's reaching that point where we're at a holy trinity of video gaming, where we're playing the best games that we can possibly play.
And I think to go back to what Anchor was saying too, with the 1080p owners, like a lot of people still are saying, like, they're not seeing the reasons why they should pick up this system for 1080p. The truth of the matter is that I think Microsoft more and more, they realize that the 4K narrative is fantastic, but it's a hard sell for people who still haven't made that jump. And honestly, a lot of people haven't made that jump yet. Mm-hmm. So you're going to see more and more, they're going to be leaning into these performance modes, this 1080p 60, or unlocking the frame rate, or whatever the case may be. So you're going to see those differences more and more. I think they're going to lean more into that narrative. It's something that I noticed, like I talked about a little while ago, like that Assassin's Creed, like the Rogue. You throw that game on, and the game is, is a nice, Black Flag follow-up on a 360, and you put it on, and it's all of a sudden running at 4K 60 frames per second. And you're like, wait a minute, what? They didn't do anything to this game. Like, that is something that's really palpable on any screen, a 1080p screen. So on these 1080p screens, like the games that are giving you that 60 frames per second mode, you have not seen that on your one. Like, there's no, you're gonna play that, and you're gonna lose your mind with the super sampling. The game is gonna look and run so beautifully. It is an obvious change over what you had before. It's very obvious. Like, going back to the Wolfenstein thing too. Wolfenstein's always been a game that ran at 60. Mm-hmm. With the super sampling on a 1080p TV, the game looks and again, there are 1080p screens nowadays. I mean, if you're buying a 1080p screen now, there are some that may handle HDR, because that's kind of it's ridiculous. What the HDR to me is the biggest game changer of anything.
That's the game changer, not the 4K. It's that HDR.
Yeah. It's that HDR. It's that HDR. So the people on the fence who are not in the market to buy a 4K TV yet, you guys really, really need to get online, look at these 1080p super sample comparisons. You're gonna see a huge difference. The machine, man, we said it last week.
Yo.
For what? Yo.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah.
Once again.
Hello.
Continue.
Hello.
So, yeah, we went on an Xbox rant. Like we've been ranting about it.
Fill your Lord up to speed. What's going on?
Yeah, no, we've been talking about the praises due to the Xbox, and is this the best time to be alive where we're getting the holy trinity of gaming, where we're getting the fidelity, we're getting the sound, and we're getting the play control. I mean, somebody did some real funny crap yesterday on Twitter. They put out an actual football game with an overlay of Madden, and it had me messed up for a second. Because they actually had the Steelers throwing a touchdown, and I said, "Hey, yo."
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, it was like a meme.
Yeah,
it looked like
I retweeted that out. Brother, I'm gonna tell you right now, I was just about to go straight to the marketplace and pick up Madden.
He said, "That's what the 4K HDR do?"
Oh my God! I said, "Yo, they put real people in the screen. It's real people in the screen, and I'm going."
No doubt. But no, I'm back in the mix. I want to get this topic moving, if possible, as far as we did the NPD. And thanks for holding it down, Ank. I appreciate that. It was weird. I had to switch hardwire, but yeah, man. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to get the gaming awards discussion going. And start a new little topic. We got Bend the Knee coming next month, so why not debut Crown Your Lord? So how this is going to work with the Crown the Lord hashtag is going to be, we're going to do the video game awards, the categories, but obviously we're not going to run through every single category. We're going to do stuff by importance.
Yeah, because some of them are, no offense.
Some of them, yeah, we're not doing trending gamer and best esport player and all that.
I don't know any of these people. That's the worst part.
You know what I'm saying? So some of these we got Lord Solve is going to be our official tally keeper, and what we're going to do is we're going to go through the.
So if I lose, blame him.
Exactly. Well, you still got the audio of ILP.
Exactly. It will be recorded. It will be recorded.
So we don't
any tomfoolery on my part.
For manipulating the audio.
I gotta be tomfoolery.
Lord, stop. Lord of the receipts.
Lord of the sight.
Exactly, Lord of the receipts. So we're gonna get this thing going. You know what I'm saying? So everyone's gonna cast their vote on who do we think will win
You
that.
should probably screenshot the actual page.
Well, I would if I was in show. Remember, I'm just a lowly ILP account right now, not on the Tick Network. But we could do all that. It's all good. So let's start off with the most anticipated game. So we'll start from the bottom to the top, and the nominees are God of War, Marvel Spider-Man, Monster Hunter World, Red Dead Redemption 2, and The Last of Us Part 2. What are we as the Lords voting?
Red Dead. Red Dead. Last of Us 2 is not coming out next year. Just so you know.
That ain't coming out. That's not coming out until your firstborn is 7.
Oh my God.
I mean, hey, Jeff Keighley doesn't care. He put Shenmue 3 on 2 years ago. So
I know,
right? No doubt. So what do we got? Lord Anchor, you're jumping in for Crown Your Lord. What do you?
That's a real tough one because it's really it's really a toss up between Last of Us 2 and Red Dead Redemption 2. But I'm probably gonna lean in terms of the winner of Red Dead Redemption 2 because the love for Rockstar is ridiculous. Yeah. It makes no sense, and but also the fact that it is multi-plat, and if it's done by popular vote. Chances are you're going to have more people voting for it.
Got you. Lord Addict, what are you voting? Most anticipated game.
RD2, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Red Dead Redemption 2. Lord King.
And a clean sweep, Red Dead.
Wow. Lord Solve, were we breaking the tie? You going against the grain? What you doing?
I did Red Dead. That was the
Oh,
first
you did
one.
Red Dead. My
Yeah,
bad.
remember, he was first.
You did. You was first. You was first in the mix. My bad. We get the order going.
He's
All
keeping
right,
count.
I think I'm gonna go against the grain on y'all.
You're gonna lose against the
I'm gonna
grain?
be Lord Contrarian. I'm gonna be Lord
The betting odds are
Contrarian.
in his favor.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Last of Us 2. I'm gonna go with Last of Us 2.
Snake eyes.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
See you in 2020. We'll see you in 2020.
Doesn't mean it has to release.
It's fine, Lord Cognitive, because next year you're gonna be saying the same thing that you're gonna say today.
It's gonna come back again.
It's gonna be on the list for the past 5 years.
Oh my God. Moving along, we're gonna get into now best multiplayer voting, and the nominees are Call of Duty World War II,
Nope.
Destiny 2, Fortnite, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, PUBG, and Splatoon 2. Lord Anchor, what are you going with?
That's a real close one too, because I feel like that one's probably gonna be between Destiny 2 and PUBG, but I'm probably gonna lean more towards PUBG on this one for the sole reason of everybody's trying to copy it now.
Right.
So
Starting that trend, starting that wave. Lord Addict, what are you voting?
I actually think it's between Fortnite and PUBG.
Yep. Yep, the fake and the real.
I was just about to say that, look. The hustler.
I don't know. Like, I want to say PUBG, but I would not be surprised if Fortnite wins it.
So, but what is the vote?
Because Fortnite is the one that's being played right now.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta put your sword down. You gotta vote with your heart. What it's gonna be?
But PUBG still has more. PUBG still has more people playing though.
Yeah, that's true.
Like they have 2 million concurrent players on PC only.
Lord Addict, the final vote, please.
Oh, I said PUBG.
Okay, cool. Lord Saul?
Yeah, I haven't played PUBG, but I have to say PUBG.
Yeah, I think so.
Multiplayer only.
When we have to say that. We haven't played it, but we have to say that.
Lord King, are we breaking this or we
enough of me betting against PUBG. I lost twice. Let's go.
PUBG, it is. No doubt, and I will actually agree.
I like how you said that, Lord King. If that's not the definition of bend the knee, I don't know what it is.
He's 0-3 this year. He needs a win.
Lord's getting it.
You need a game. Let's go. Let's get through the game.
Lord Cognito going with PUBG as well. We're going to move on. Best sports/racing game. The nominees are FIFA 18, Forza Motorsport 7, GT Sport, NBA 2K18, Pro Evolution Soccer 18, and Project Cars 2. Lord Anchorman. Your sports
game. That one comes down to either GT Sport or Forza because I normally I'd say FIFA. Normally I'd say FIFA, but this year I didn't even know FIFA released. Like, they had no hype going into this one. It was quiet. And Pro Evolution is not going to win. We all know that. 2K18 is not going to win. And really. I think they might lean more towards Forza on this one because in all capabilities, it really is the better game.
But that's not.
But popular people got that.
Popular people.
Yeah, remember. That's the only downside.
All right, so what you going with?
I'll pick Forza for the sake of it.
All right, so you got Forza, Lord Addict, your favorite category, sports. What are you voting?
Well, I know 2K had that big microtransaction backlash, so that's not it. I didn't even know FIFA was coming out this year. I didn't even know there was another soccer game.
Oh my god!
Project Cars 2. That I guess. I mean, I'm gonna say GT Sports
over Forza. Wow. Okay. Cool.
I feel like people like graphics more than they like gameplay these days. So.
GT Sport. All right.
Graphics ain't better.
Lord King, what you going with?
I'm going with GT Sport.
Wow.
You know why? And let me I want y'all to understand this. Forza stomps it into the ground. I mean, graphically too. Don't get caught up in a bull. That's hype. They got great playbacks. That's nice. But I'm going with the majority of the people, and I think PlayStation people vote more than Xbox people.
So you're going for the platform leader. Okay, I got you. I see the logic. Yeah, it's tough. I'm probably would narrow it down between. I didn't play GT Sport. Obviously, I've seen the comparisons, and I heard, graphically, that they've done in the tracks that they have compared them to Forza that they have, that it's been better. I'm still gonna go with the title holder. I'm still gonna go with Forza 7. I like 2K18, but this year was a little bit of a down year. The microtransactions a little too wild. Shout out to Lil B Money in the chat. I know he had voted for Forza, but I'm rolling. Yeah, I'm with 2K, but I'm rolling with a Forza 7 on this one.
Brap, what's good? Brap, baby, what's good? You see my amiibos? Ooh, premium experience, baby.
Brap in the building. We always appreciate royalty, Lord Brap in the chat. So, of course, now we got the next category, best strategy.
Hold up, I got Forza 7 too.
My bad. You got Forza 7 too?
Yeah. So I'm not the only one who ignored Saab this morning.
My bad.
We need to discuss. We need to discuss how we handle lawyers that forget lawyers. Like, are we condoning beheadings on the ILP podcast?
This is the second time he's done that. Ever since he told you to hold the tally, it's like he's been not paying you.
No. This is how we deal with lawyers that forget. This is how we deal with that. If you forget a lawyer's name, you got to gift him a game.
Easy.
Don't let the Lord of Mooch ever come up with stipulations. It will always result in you going in your wallet.
I'm so excited for the category. I got you tallying it. I forget that you must. I apologize.
You just got little finger.
I totally
I'm done.
Like that. Lord Saab, your vote was.
It was Forza 7. I'm sorry. I've only played demos of Forza and GT. Yeah. GT has some beautiful HDR, but I think Forza is the more accessible game, the larger game, more variety. And oh God, it'll make you want to drive. It'll make you want to drive.
I think Microsoft got to win one on this.
I'm telling you, man, it's a vote. It's just popular vote. They're gonna think about it.
You could be very right. Moving on, best strategy game. Lord Act gonna be so hyped for this category. Let's start with Lord Act, Lord Anchor. We're gonna do Halo Wars 2, Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Tooth and Tail, Total War Warhammer 2, and XCOM 2 War of the Chosen are the nominees. Lord Anchor, what is your vote for the best strategy game?
Rabbids.
Woo!
Okay. They're gonna because that was the game that nobody expected to be good. Like nobody. It was an okay game. I didn't finish it because I just didn't really care. I don't really care for strategy games in general, but I had a good time playing it when I had it.
God, no doubt.
So
Lord Anchor, this is probably one of your favorite categories and something I'm very curious to see what you're going to vote. A lot of your heart is in this category. You got Halo Wars 2, you got Rabbids, you got XCOM 2.
Did you just call him Lord Anchor?
You forgot another game.
That's his head.
Off with his head!
Listen, I had a birthday last night. I got a lot of love to drink.
Too many LeBrons.
Too many LeBrons.
Lord
Too many LeBrons in the building.
Too many Anchors and addicts. Lord Addicts.
I'm gonna go with Halo Wars 2. I
feel like
XCOM 2 is going to get overlooked because it was an expansion and it was delayed and the initial release came out, at an okay time, but the console version came out at a horrible time and then it was broken. Mario plus Rabbids, there's a good chance it's neither between that or Halo Wars 2. I don't see the other. I don't know. Total Hammer is a huge game.
Okay, fair enough.
But
it's Warhammer.
I feel like Halo Wars 2. It's I got to go with them just because I put like 12 days in it. So
I feel you. Go right with your heart. Shout out to Lord Chief Tommy in the chat. He's saying Total Warhammer, but wow. Lord Sav. Your vote, please.
This is not really a category I'm really into, but man, that Mario Rabbids brought me in, man. Like I'm definitely gonna try out Halo Wars 2 at some point and XCOM. So, but that Mario Rabbids is what brought me in, so I'm gonna go with that.
No doubt, no doubt. Lord King, what is your vote?
Rabbits.
Wow, Travis again. Levels Raw Flush. I think I'm gonna break the mold. I think I'm going to go with XCOM 2, only because as much as I love Mario Rabbids, I just feel XCOM was the better game overall, and I like what they were doing with the new one. But I'm probably not going to win this one, but I'm going to go against the grain. Halo Wars 2 was great, but I think I'm going with XCOM 2. So that's what we got on Best Strategy Game voting. Now, this is a funny category. Best Family Game voting. Nominees are Mario Kart 8, Mario Rabbids, Sonic Mania, Splatoon 2, and Super Mario Odyssey.
Hey, let me say something real quick before we go into this. Okay, why is Mario Odyssey and Rabbids
That's what I'm saying.
Why is Sonic Mania in this? Like, that's
why is Mario Kart on there? It's a re-release. Like, that's the thing that's getting me.
I mean, XCOM wasn't a DLC. Shut up, Anchor Man.
Did you guys actually hear the category family? Nintendo equals family. Of course, there will be a Nintendo ruled select
category.
Yeah, so trust me when I tell you this, it's gonna be a Nintendo
Fusion
game.
Frenzy.
Where's Fusion Frenzy?
Fusion Frenzy.
Oh God.
Let's make sure Snake Pass ain't on this either. But anyway,
I passed on that snake. Pause.
Lord Anchor, your vote.
They'll probably even give it to Mario Kart. Out of all of those, it's the only game that has true multiplayer.
Yep.
Not this little co-op adventure.
Yep.
Family game.
Yeah, and it got a lot of attention when it got re-released.
All right.
Yep.
So
And like, the only thing about it though that might hurt its chances is simply because it won last year for Best Racer, which still made no sense.
Different category.
No doubt. Lord Addict, what is your vote? Best family game.
I think it's between Splatoon 2 and Mario Kart 8, but I'm going to have to go with Mario Kart.
Okay. All right. Lord Sov, what is your vote?
Same thing, Mario Kart. I think it's between those two because it's just the multiplayer component, and the multiplayer component in Odyssey is kind of crappy. So no,
Gotcha.
It's unplayable unless you have it docked.
So remember, y'all family game. So y'all looking at family. Y'all saying because it's multiple people. That's how y'all going, as opposed to. Okay, I got you. Lord King, what is your vote?
I'm gonna go with what Lord Drake says. What's old to you is new to me, baby. I'm going with Mario Kart because I did not buy it on the Wii U, and it looks fantastic on my Switch, and it's a new release, not a re-release for me.
I just feel like everyone there, like the only other game that they own that can compete with a family genre like that is Mario Party, and that's not out yet. So.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, I'm with the Lords on this. I'm going with Mario Kart. I'm surprised. I thought I was going to be the only person on the Mario Kart train, but I thought that was real fun. So much fun as a group, and and simple to get into. So I got the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. All right, moving right along. Best fighting game, another favorite of Lord Addicts. The nominees are Arms, Injustice 2, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite,
Arms,
Nitty Hog 2, which I don't know what is, and Tekken 7. So, Lord Anchor.
Well, we all know Nidhogg is the pity nomination. But honestly, though, if I had to pick one, I mean, I didn't really get to play Tekken that much. So, I mean, for me, they'll probably give it to Injustice 2 because they actually have characters. And like even the casuals get on board with that because it's got DC characters in it. So we'll probably win.
No doubt, Lord Addict. Your favorite category. Fighting game.
Hear the pain in his voice.
I love him. This is sports.
Like, you know what? I have a better chance of winning.
And I know, right? That's good logic. I like how you rocking. What you going with? Arms, Injustice 2, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Arms is not even on that list. Let's keep going with that.
Oh, shots fired. Nitty Hog. Nighty Hog. How do you pronounce Nighty Hog? Nidhogg.
That's another game that's
ever just called the pity nomination.
I feel like Injustice 2 because I heard the best positive feedback from that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lord Sav, you about to say something and your pick?
Yeah, I mean, my pick is Injustice. I think I go with Anchor on that. Like, it's just the DC characters, the fact they have like Ninja Turtles coming. Like, it's just it's one of those things where like the casual sort of gravitates to that. But back that Nidhogg the first Nidhogg was it's like a funny, it's like a lot. They kind of classify it as like Bushido Blade, but like looking horrible. But the gameplay is kind of amazing. So you know, this is a game that came out on console. I think it came out on PC too. It might be a surprise because a lot of people like Nidhogg.
Okay. The only surprise
so you go with Lord Sav, you go with Nidhogg.
No, I'm going Injustice.
All he was doing was because they paid him for that promo. So
if you can do a game promo, he could do a Nidhogg promo.
Split money in his Patreon.
We're securing our Nidhogg interview.
The Nidhogg interview. Yeah, King secures the Xbox interview. And
all right. So we good. Okay. As long as we know, you know, he picked that. So we good.
Oh my God. Lord King, your vote, please.
Being that I got my behind ripped inside Tekken 7.
That is disqualifying.
Shout out to Lord Hip Hop Gamer. Throw that footage out, baby. I'm gonna go with Injustice.
Going with Injustice. Fair enough. A strong choice. I am going against the grain. I know I'm probably going to lose. I'm too much of a Tekken 7 fanboy. I'm going with Tekken 7. It's going to lose. It's going to get smashed by Injustice, but I don't care. That's what I'm rolling with.
I'm not betting with my heart.
I'm only willing to do that with one category, and that was with Halo Wars 2. Nothing else. Everything
else, that's my heart vote. And plus, they got Noctis. They got Noctis from Final Fantasy 15. I'm good. Whatever's going on.
Not even that can help that game.
And Geese Howard's in it. Final Shout out to B-Money repping that Tekken in the chat. I see you.
I hear that.
All right. Best role-playing game voting. Ooh, this is a good one. The nominees are Divinity Original Sin 2, Final Fantasy 15, Nier Automata, Persona 5. I can hear Lord Kaibatsu now. South Park Fractured But Whole. Lord Anchorman, your vote for the best role-playing game.
I feel like Divinity Original Sin will take it. I've played it. I don't know anything about it. All I know is it got a lot of good press for like 3 weeks.
It did. It absolutely did.
And it had no hype prior, and it came out, and people were loving it. So.
Strong vote. Lord Addict, what are we voting? What? Wait, hold on. You were voting for you said Persona 5?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, over Final Fantasy, which I've heard you rave and rant.
Here's the thing. Final Fantasy came out last year at the very end of the year. Persona came out this year. Persona is in my, you know, it still holds that RPG, you know, that foundation with it. I don't even know why Nier is on that. Is that an RPG or just an action adventure game?
It's an RPG.
Yeah. Some of these categories
are giving you wild praise. See, y'all got a little in because he just gave you a PlayStation. I don't know what's going on with y'all too, so I don't know. Your vote might be your vote might be tainted.
He gave you a little
Personas. I told you, I'm in
this. His vote is tainted.
I don't know. This man just got a free copy of Persona 5. I don't know.
Listen. It's not far fetched that the Lord of Mooch can be purchased.
Shout out to Lord Addict for voting for Persona 5. I'm shocked. I'm very shocked.
I told you, I'm in this for the W. I'm not.
That boy trying to win. I feel like Lord Saul. What do you got, man?
I gotta go with Divinity too, man. This thing got so much. I mean, the people talking about what greatest RPG ever. Like when you start throwing that stuff around, like I haven't played it yet. I'm waiting for it to come to console because the first one came, so I'll just play it on console. But yeah, I think it could be that Divinity.
All right, cool.
And Attic brought up a really good point about that too, because Final Fantasy doesn't look like it's got a chance because the Game Awards it's all about what have you done for me lately.
Okay, Lord King.
Persona 5.
Okay, going Persona.
Even though I got it, it's still in the plastic. I haven't played it because I really hate my PlayStation, but I gotta play it. So
shout out to our Sony contingent.
I got it though, but I hate it though.
Oh man. So for me, yeah, this is tough. I mean, I've heard exactly what Lord Anchorman is saying as far as Divinity. Just wish I knew more about it. For me, Final Fantasy I just got now. Shout out to Lokai. Persona 5 seems to be the favorite here. I mean, if they're gonna win something, this is the category. I see it. So yeah, I gotta be smart. As much as I want it to be Final Fantasy, I'm gonna go with Persona 5 on this one. All right. So we are moving along. Best action adventure game. And the nominees are Assassin's Creed Origins.
Wins.
Horizon Zero Dawn. Super Mario Odyssey. Uncharted Lost Legacy. And that game. The Breath of the Wild. That game.
It's just sad that, like, Uncharted stands no chance.
Not even close.
It's a DLC though. I mean, it shouldn't even be on a list.
Lord Anchor.
What was the nominees again? It was Horizon Zero Dawn.
Horizon Zero Dawn. Assassin's Creed Origins. Super Mario Odyssey, your favorite, your GOAT. Uncharted The Lost Legacy. And Zelda Breath of the Wild. What is your vote, Lord Anchor?
That one in particular, I'm really up on the air on this one. Mainly because I have not played Assassin's Creed Origins yet. I'm starting that today.
Okay.
So I just haven't gotten around to it yet, so I can't really give an accurate picture on that. But I can tell you Mario Odyssey's not going to win. And, but after that,
I don't think it's winning. That.
Legend of Zelda maybe, and maybe Horizon Zero Dawn, because Horizon Zero Dawn's not winning Game of the Year. So
okay, so you figure this is the consolation.
This is the pity. This is the pity win.
I see the logic. I see where you flowing with it. All right. Lord Addict. It's a tough one. What you got?
Okay. Uncharted. I think. Man.
It's tough, man. It is tough.
I think
Rap in the chat said y'all hating on Mario Odyssey.
I think Cuphead has a better chance of winning Game of the Year before Uncharted wins this category. So I'm gonna take that out. Mario Odyssey, I feel like I feel like when people think action adventure, they're gonna lean towards more the action oriented games. So I'm gonna take that out of it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
I think it comes down to Legend of Zelda, Assassin's Creed Origins, and Horizon Zero Dawn. And for some reason, I feel like they're going to give it to Horizon. So I'm going to say Horizon.
Wow, two Horizon goals.
It won't win Game of the Year. But
you feel this is where Horizon comes in.
This is going to be gaming politics right here.
Okay. Lord Solve, I'm curious because you are invested in almost every property here, probably minus Uncharted. So I'm curious.
I'm in.
Oh, you're in on that too?
Yeah, I'm in on that too. But it doesn't.
You probably played all of these more than all of the Lords. So what is your vote?
Yeah, Uncharted is nice. It doesn't stand a chance in hell, like not against these games. I think I do. My general feeling is Zelda FTW, like Zelda. But I kind of agree with Anchor. I think Horizon's gonna get the pity win here because it's not winning anything else. I'm gonna go with Horizon. Okay. Yeah.
Lord King, you also have a lot of experience here.
This is my heart vote.
Yeah, let's go with your heart, baby. Let's go.
My heart vote is gonna go with Assassin's Creed because I think
rocking with his heart.
Yeah, I think
about the heart. I'm about for the W.
I think you did your heart vote already. You did your heart vote. That's gonna come up
Halo Wars 2.
Yeah, Halo Wars 2 crap. You're gonna do that. So I'm actually gonna get a game that can actually win a category. So I'm gonna go with Ubisoft. Actually, their bag is secure in this faction right here because you talk about action, and I'm betting that Zelda is too far in a year, and people is gonna be putting that to Game of the Year. So I'm gonna go with Assassin's Creed so they can get something out of the category. So I'm going with Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, it's like the only two categories they're in too, right?
Yeah, Assassin's Creed not in a lot of categories. Yeah, you're right. This is tough, man. I mean, shout out to the chat that's really mad at us for not really giving Mario these props.
I love Mario, but it's not an action game.
I love Mario, but it's
not.
Yeah, that's what eliminated Mario for me in this category when I saw the word action. I was just like, no.
There's none. There's a lot of parts for you walking around looking at stuff.
Now, honestly, I'm late to Zero Dawn. I just got it. You know, what I mean, I'm literally only played like a stage or two, so I'm really not in a position to judge. But
He's
from what
beat
I've
the whole
seen,
game already.
oh
Yeah.
damn, you see, y'all savage. That you on your
Got you.
Horizon Zero
Did you
yawn
got your
stuff.
do you got your pillow for you?
No,
got
you
your pillow?
Horizon many yawns.
Y'all savage.
Yo,
Assassin's
yo,
Creed. I'm done.
Zero yawn.
Yo, Anchor, he needs the airplane neck pillow when he plays that game.
Savages.
Also, you don't have an issue with my hate on
Beautiful.
Horizon Zero Dawn now. You don't have an issue.
No,
I don't like.
I don't. Because I told you when I tried to play it, it took me like 10 days to get out of that little part. It's just crap. It's crap.
The story's fantastic. Story's good, but that's a game you should beeline because after a while, the combat gets tiresome. And I fell off of it I don't know how many times. But the story's good.
They should have real dinosaurs.
I want Assassin's Creed to win this award, but the problem I have with it, I can't pick it over Zelda. I just felt my problem with Assassin's Creed, this kind is just that I felt the fighting is a little clunky, y'all. I think Zelda's tighter as far as the fighting and controlling them, and you know what I'm saying. So I'm rolling with the Zelda, man. I'm rolling with Zelda. Even though I want Assassin's Creed to win something, I'm rolling with Zelda on this one. That's how I'm going.
I told you, man. It's not about the heart. It's about that W.
You gotta stop saying that.
Yeah, say it. The same guy that took Halo Wars. Please shut up.
I legitimately think Halo Wars has a shot of winning that one.
You legitimately think Halo Wars is a fantastic game.
You did say that on E3 they was gonna come out with Halo Wars DLC on stage. I'll never forget that.
But
yo, anything that they do, they could do no wrong. I got you. That's your baby. All right, next. It is that.
It's the competition in its genre.
You have shown. You know what it is. You have shown what matters in Addict's world matters around. Addict's world. Addict's world. Addict's world. With nothing matters but
nothing into those.
He ain't put no work in. Let's move on. Best action game. Here we go. The nominees are Cuphead, Destiny 2, Neo, Prey, and God Howard's favorite son, Wolfenstein 2.
This is not competition.
Where will you be voting?
This is no competition. Like, if you want action, this game is action incarnate.
Ooh, sell it, baby. Sell it.
Like this game, they picked up what they could from Doom. They kept some of the stealth elements. It was excellent.
What's his name? BJ? You going BJ on this? All right.
So if you want the BJ, you got to go Wolfenstein 2.
Wow! Wow! Get him out of here now!
Hey, at least the dude that is supposed to get on us for saying inappropriate things is the one that said that.
Hey man,
my program director is saying inappropriate stuff, and I love it.
Having the wolf in charge of the sheep.
Lord Addict, best action game. What are you voting?
I think Prey has no chance in hell.
Nope.
Destiny 2 has no chance in hell.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Cuphead, I don't think it has a chance. I'm going to have to go with Noah.
Wow, you going with the Neo? Neo. Okay, no doubt.
Yeah, Neo. I keep mispronouncing that. I've legit
because it's like Neo and then there's Nier automatically. I know. I do the same thing. Cool. Lord Solve. This is a good one. What you got?
Yeah, I have to go with Addict on this one. I mean, Prey doesn't have a chance in hell, and then Wolfenstein, Destiny, both first-person shooters. I kind of would prefer to be in that category.
Yeah, I agree.
And Cuphead, as great as it is, it's kind of isolated to Xbox and PC.
Mm-hmm.
You know, same thing with Neo. But Neo, to me, man, that captured my heart. I put hours into this game.
Now let me ask you: you haven't touched Wolfenstein yet, or I'm just curious?
Oh, I played Wolfenstein. Okay. I love me some Wolfenstein. Wolfenstein is.
You need to be treading very carefully here.
Anchor's right.
Watch your mouth.
Watch your mouth.
Anchor's correct. Wolfenstein is fantastic, and it balls to the wall action. It's there, but you can play it differently too. That's the thing. Neo, you can't really. You have to get into the fight. With Wolfenstein, you can play it sneakily. You don't necessarily have to. You can play it completely differently. Neo, you got to fight. This is straight up action. So to me, I'm going with Neo.
All right, cool. I feel like is Wolfenstein mainly just a shoot 'em up game? Like, be honest with me.
It's a shoot 'em.
Anchorman, don't sit there and like
All
try
right.
to sugarcoat it. Is it mainly a shoot 'em up game?
It's in terms of like if you want to play it so like a shoot 'em up game,
Okay,
you
so
can
it's
do
a shoot
that.
'em up game.
But it's well because I play everything stealth. So but my thing is you go stealth till you get caught, and then you go balls.
And then
to
you
the wall,
go crazy.
Dual wielding shotguns.
But you're talking to the Fallout guy, you know, the guy that doesn't have enough bullets in his game, you know. So,
my
I just feel like, you know, that game. It's going to be a good action game, but I feel like the other one, you know, it has more going for it in that genre than Wolfenstein does.
A knock on Wolfenstein too. I love me Wolfenstein, but the guns don't feel great. Like there's not a lot of rumble. There's not a lot of rumble when you're shooting. Like sometimes you're shooting, and you know you should have some feedback on your controller, and there's really nothing. Like
no, I think that's your vote, man. That's your vote.
My face is white guy blinking meme right now. Like what?
Lord King, I need your vote.
Neil.
Wow. Okay. All right.
He wants the L. It's not gonna win.
I think I'm rolling with Lord Anchor on this, man. I mean, it's unfair to Neil though because I haven't got a chance to play, and I trust Lord Saab. I do trust it, and I know where y'all going with it. But I just felt even though the first 15, 20 minutes of Wolfenstein was so amazing to me. Yeah, I think I have to go Wolfenstein. It's a tough one, but I wouldn't be mad if Neil pulled it. You were saying something, Lord Attic, before we move on to the next category?
You know, Anchorman wants to talk all that nonsense. You know you're gonna be back on here when we go over these results, right?
But when I got more points than the rest of you,
Lord King, I have a question. Should we be doing best VR AR game?
That's Resident Evil 7. Everyone just so we can move on.
You know what?
It's Resident Evil 7.
It's
the only game that actually supported it.
Resident Evil 7. That's a consensus with the group.
So we can move on.
That's the only game.
It's Lone Echo.
All right. Now, are we going to move on with the best handheld game? I think we're going to skip this. Most of this is DS stuff. But
let's get out of there. We said we weren't going to do a lot of stuff.
Right, we're gonna skip
this thing has already stretched beyond its limits.
Best indie
We should have just did 5 topics and 5 categories. It's this thing.
We get to the final 5.
Oh God!
So Lord King wants to watch his football. We'll get him going. All right, best indie game voting: Cuphead, Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, Night in the Woods, Pyre, or What Remains of Edith Finch. Lord Anchor.
Cuphead, only because I'm close on Edith Finch, but Edith Finch is an established studio now with Giant Sparrow, and it hurts. But I gotta say Cuphead because those guys actually like sacrifice their houses, and I gotta give a debut indie game more props than a sequel.
No doubt, Lord Addict.
Best independent.
Cuphead.
Cuphead.
Okay.
Cuphead.
Gotcha. Lord Solve. This is gonna be tough for you.
Yeah, I love Edith Finch.
And you like Hellblade.
Hellblade is fantastic, but it's I gotta go with Cuphead. I gotta go with Cuphead.
I think Cuphead did the most waves.
Yeah, this guy.
Yeah. For like 3 weeks there, it was like a big thing. Like it was a big event.
I gotta go with what got its own sneakers. Cuphead.
The consensus is Cuphead. I'm actually going with Cuphead as well. The new category: best ongoing game: Destiny 2, Grand Theft Auto 5, Overwatch.
I like how you skipped it. Like I have to go back and forth because you went all the way back to the bottom for that one.
Rainbow Six Siege and Warframe. Lord Acre, best ongoing game.
See, that's the thing. I got to vote with my heart on this one. This is my category because
baby.
The thing is, GTA will probably win because GTA's just had an insane amount of support, and Rockstar wants to milk that base as long as possible. I'd love Overwatch to win, but I got to go with Siege. I got to go with Siege because this is the reason it's a category.
I know you're going.
Top 5 most played games with all these new games.
I'm shocked you're going Siege over Overwatch based on your Overwatch love, though. I am so shocked.
There's more people playing Siege than Overwatch right now.
Facts.
This is going to decide the men from the boys.
Woo! Let's talk that talk. Lord Addict.
I'm gonna go with GTA Online.
Nice. That's a safe choice. That man trying to get a W. I feel that. That man trying to get a W. He ain't playing no games out here. Lord Soft.
Gotta go with GTA, man. 80 plus million copies
Crown
sold.
your
This
lord.
is the same
Crown
person.
your lord.
Anchorman is the same person that said 2 minutes ago he's gonna come back on here and get the W. That he just sit there.
I can give away one. I can give away one when the rest of you, right?
You know what's crazy? Every time somebody bets with their heart and give away one, this guy got something to say after he gave away one.
Lord King, your vote, please, for best ongoing game.
Yeah, GTA. I would like to go with Overwatch, but GTA got the numbers.
Okay.
And actually, you got to look at what the title says: best ongoing game. Like,
Yeah,
this game's been.
it's got to be most
How
likely.
long ago?
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm going to vote my heart though. I am going to vote for Rainbow Six only because this category. Only because this category.
And we
Ongoing
know,
game.
we know, Lord Cognito did not win the crown.
I may be forfeiting crowning the Lord segment. So I'll go with the heart. All right, so that was best ongoing game. We got that. Game for Impact. All right,
Skip that one.
we can skip that.
Oh, we all know it's Edith Finch.
Best performance, we can skip that. Can we skip that?
Yeah.
Let's give all of it.
You know it's BJ.
No,
You know
hold
BJ
on.
gave the best performance.
Hold on.
Oh, God!
No blade. Sorry. No blade.
This guy got to stop.
Best score in music, y'all. No audio category.
Cuphead.
Okay.
No,
Are
Cuphead.
you not doing best audio design?
That's what I'm saying. Like, these are good categories. Best audio design: Destiny 2, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, Resident Evil 7, Mario Odyssey, or Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Hellblade.
Hellblade.
All right. Yeah, it's got to be Hellblade. It's nothing. It's very unique. Nothing like that. That's my vote. All right. Best score in music. We are going Cuphead, Destiny 2, Nier Automata, Persona 5, Super Mario Odyssey, and Zelda. Do they even have a score in music in Zelda? But anyway, votes please, Anchor.
Cuphead. For the sole reason of I like old music, and they literally told the composer all you have to do is just work on one premise.
Yeah.
What if video games were created in the 1930s and just build music with that style, just for and like that. It's perfect.
No
I love it.
doubt. Lord Attic.
I want to say Nier Automata.
You played Nier Automata, huh? Okay.
No, I just heard the soundtrack, and I want to say Destiny 2, but they ain't giving Destiny 2 nothing.
Yeah, I wanted to say Destiny 2 too, but the old Destiny should have won score awards in my opinion. But
Fair
that's
enough.
another story.
Yeah.
Lord Saw,
Cuphead.
no doubt. Lord King.
Cuphead.
All right. I am probably, this is tough. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Cuphead just because it's true to the era, you know. Best art direction, we're down to the last three, y'all. So don't worry about Lord King, we got you. Cuphead.
This so we all know
Destiny
the answer to this one. Like,
Horizon Zero Dawn, Persona 5, Zelda Breath of the Wild. Which one? Best art direction.
Cuphead.
this is literally the only one that like,
This is not a
this
Cuphead
award was
award.
designed for Cuphead.
Is anyone not voting for Cuphead on best art direction? Okay, moving along.
Cuphead is a watch.
All right. Best narrative: Hellblade: Senua, Horizon Zero Dawn, Nier Automata, What Remains of Edith Finch, and Wolfenstein: Anchorman 2.
I'm actually really torn on this one, oddly enough, because
Just say
Edith Finch was really good. Edith Finch is really good. And like Wolfenstein 2's story is just great, but the only reason I'm torn on this one is because I felt like the individual stuff was What Remains of Edith Finch was a better narrative, but Wolfenstein, it had one consistent character arc for 15 hours as opposed to Edith Finch, which was 2 hours and had a bunch of little short stories. So, like, by like 1% of my kind of internal vote, Wolfenstein.
Yeah, okay. Lord Attic.
Come back to me.
Lord Soft.
Wolfenstein.
That's a tough one. Lord King.
Edith Finch.
It's a tough one. I know Edith Finch is deep, bro. And it's tough. I haven't played Hellblade, but I heard so much good stuff about it. But this is narrative, so I'm gonna go. Man, this is tough. It's gonna down. It's between Edith Finch and Wolfenstein for me. I'm gonna go with Wolfenstein only because I like the subject matter that was touched and the characters that were brought back. and the connections there. But Edith Fit definitely could deserve this too. But I'm gonna go Wolfenstein. What are you going with, Lord Addict? I'm coming back to you.
Hellboy.
Hellblade. All right. And now, final two. Best game direction. Horizon Zero Dawn, Resident Evil 7, Super Mario Odyssey, Wolfenstein 2, Zelda Breath of the Wild. Lord Anchor, best game direction.
Because game direction it's supposed to be about something that it's doing something different in how the game is approached. See, Legend of Zelda comes real close on that one for me because they literally just opened up the gates and said, do what you want to do. It was like a true open world kind of deal. Which, the only difference about that one, though, is like it's novel. It's new. It's new and interesting for Nintendo, but Nintendo's behind 10 years.
True, but no one was climbing up like Horizon, not climbing up that mountain. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they're doing stuff that they've got systems that have existed in other games, but to me they've got like the combination of all these systems in one. They
expanded.
So, but I personally got to give it to Wolfenstein 2.
Simply
because I'm a whole record, man.
All right,
understood.
Lord
because it's just Wolfenstein 2. It's just did a good job
with Zelda.
Oh man, Lord Soft.
Zelda hands down.
I think none of those even come close. The only one that comes close is Resident Evil
7. Yeah, that's all I was gonna say. Resident Evil 7 come close because it did something different in a way. You know what I'm saying? But I see what you're saying. Lord King.
Popular vote, Zelda.
Holler. And the final category.
I do have a request.
Yes.
In our tallies, let's make Game of the Year 2 points.
Yeah, no, that's facts. All right, facts, because that's a big one. No, I like that. I like 2 points for Game of the Year. It's on the record. Now we have the final vote to Lord King's happiness. Horizon Zero Dawn, Yawn, excuse me, Persona 5, PUBG, Super Mario Odyssey, and Zelda Breath of the Wild. Keep in mind, PUBG is in the Game of the Year vote. Lord Anchor, what is your vote for Game of the Year?
Considering Jeff Keighley broke all the rules now we're just accepting any game into here. Like, next year I'll win Game of the Year for best concept. Like, imagine I have a game called Supreme, and it's whatever you want it to be, and I'm gonna win because it's in the concept phase. We're in early development.
Oh my god, continue.
But that's such a tough one too, because I think it's really between Legend of Zelda and PUBG.
Popular vote. It could be a factor.
The only thing is, though, with the PUBG crowd, you got PC guys, and PC guys actually vote. PC guys vote, and there's more people playing it.
Fanboys that will vote because it's there.
Yeah, and I have been in shine for a minute too, so they're coming in droves. Switch Gang is coming in droves too.
They're gonna go, but they're also gonna be split between Mario Odyssey.
True, that's a good point. That's a valid point.
That's the thing. They're going to be split between the two of them, and so that's going to ruin the vote.
And then you got to, there's a decent install base that people have Switches that have a PC.
But then there's something you're not considering.
Let's go. What we not considering?
The Xbox crowd will be mobilized for PUBG. Because it's the only representation they have.
You're right. No, you're right.
So you got the PC and Xbox crowd, and so I got to give it to PUBG. I don't want it to win, but I think it will.
Okay, fair enough. Lord Addict, I am curious.
I want to say Zelda.
You're breaking my heart, man. You're breaking my heart right now.
But at the end of the day, I feel like if they broke the laws that's sacred to us.
They broke the sacred laws of PUBG, and you do something. The jig is up.
The jig is up.
I feel it. What's up?
I told you, I'm trying to get this W.
Yeah, I'm not
getting the W. I feel crying your Lord.
I don't care so much about the W. I can't, in good conscience. Like I'm not mad. I'm not mad that PUBG's there. Honestly, I'm not mad like other people are.
Look,
no, I'm not mad.
Zelda is my Game of the Year, but they're going to give it to PUBG.
Wow. Yeah, I'm with him on this. Like they're breaking the rules.
Yeah, I'm going with Zelda, man. I can't do it. Like I as popular as that the PUBG thing is, like
this ain't Commanders where we beat them.
I got to go with my heart, man. That's all.
Dog, baby. I feel you riding on that shield. Lord King, what do you do?
PUBG. Let's go. Next.
You heathen.
No, it's just the simple fact that, all right, I mean, you can look at how many Switches is out there, right? But just the same way that everybody's in this uproar talking about, oh no, PUBG, how the hell are they gonna put PUBG in? I didn't know about it until everybody was talking about it on Twitter. So the fact that they changed the rules and put this game in, it's over. They won.
Hashtag I'm blaming Overwatch. I'm going my heart. Probably not winning Crown of the Lord this year. Zelda is the game of the year, y'all. You know it. I know it. So y'all fans better get out there and do the thing. And those are our votes. Thank you for participating, Lord King. I know you have your topic. I apologize. I had technical difficulties. Please define what is going on with the strategies against
All right,
evil.
this topic is not going to stand too long. It's just going to be a quick topic. Don't worry about technical difficulties. You were Lord Robot today. Yo. All right, so I wanted y'all. We're going to talk about the strategy against Microsoft at this point in time because after the beast has dropped, we're going to keep calling it the beast. The beast is in the streets. The beast is tearing things up just like they said they would. I really, honestly, I'm pleasantly surprised that it's living up to and exceeding expectations. Now, the beast being Xbox One X, if y'all don't know, and before when PlayStation and Xbox launched, it was just about PlayStation and Xbox, right? It was just 1080p versus 720p. Oh, your pixels is short, baby. You don't remember that? You don't remember that?
Yeah,
I remember that. I remember that was a thing. And then the Pro came out, and then the gap widened. It got ridiculous. The gap got crazy. It was like, we're at 1440p. We checkerboarded, baby. What are you doing? Surfing at 720? I mean, it was very terrible in these streets. Now, the X is out. And the X, I don't care what PlayStation side you land on, the X is stomping you. I'm talking about stomping you. Whatever game you put up, you're getting stomped down. It doesn't make any sense. Actually, Digital Foundry should put Xbox wins on everything. All right? But you know what the new narrative is and what I've seen?
What's the narrative?
PC is in this category now. Why? Where the hell this guy come from? Like, where the hell did it come from? Xbox, PlayStation Pro. Oh, and we're gonna put the PC in there just so that something can have its head over Microsoft. Because we already know that if you put a $2,000 PC up against a $500 machine, who's gonna win?
Facts. No, facts. I hear you going with that. I mean, it's a good point. I mean, I've been hearing this going on right now as far as, these comparisons. I mean, let's just call it what it is. Digital Foundry is eating. This is just Digital Foundry looking at the temperature of these streets. We are all bloodthirsty for these comparison videos. I don't know how. It's so funny. Like the morning a video comes up from Digital Foundry with this versus this and PC or whatever, the views are insane. I'm like, the video just was up 10 minutes ago.
Yes.
So it to me, that's the culture now. I think it promotes the console wars. It promotes what everybody's into. And I mean, I have to admit, as much as the console wars, it annoys me sometimes, there is some funniness to it. Like if you
but it's nice that it's the funniness is in it, but why is it PC interjected in this now when it should just be a straight up fight?
That's a good point. The thing I think also is that what's happening is because of the remember when Digital Foundry got that exclusive with the Scorpio and how they broke down the components and how it's saying it's such a great piece of tech and how they're saying it's remarkable what Microsoft was able to accomplish in the $500 box, right? Now I feel, this is what I see, that the PC crowd is threatened. The PC crowd feels like, whoa, yeah, it's good, but kind of thing. So I think that's where the uproar is coming up, as opposed to for the most part, it's going to beat PlayStation in majority of these comparisons. That's just what's going to happen. You'll have your occasional anomalies like the Titanfall, which you'll have a patch, you know what I mean? But for the most part, we know what's going to happen head to head. You know what I mean? So I think that's just a new wave right now. I think the PC contingent is very loud because, no disrespect to my PC guys. I just think there is a threat. Like, hey, these guys are up there, but, we got to show them we can do, a little bit more. That's my feeling on it. What you guys think?
Yeah, no joke though. You're right about that, because I was seeing the same thing yesterday. I was watching two guys go at it, and like two relatively big people arguing about this stuff, and I was like, what's going on? Like, so they were getting mad about there's this supposed master PC build, and and it was like it's $500, and then it's like, but it doesn't include anything else, and so what they tried to do, because they had this bet between the two individuals about like, can you build an Xbox One X that can outperform it or at least get the same for the same price with all the same like regular feature stuff. And so basically they said, well, you don't have to have the 4K Blu-ray player. And then so the guy cheated too, and he was like, well, I threw in a year of Xbox Live on top of it.
Oh my god.
Like,
there's so many caveats. They built like the same thing. Like they had one that had no mouse and keyboard. They had one that had no OS in it. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what the hell?
Like, and that's the thing though. Like, I'm not saying it has to include everything.
Right.
Like I can get not having the 4K Blu-ray player. I can understand that. Mm-hmm. Like, it's only $24. It's not this. Like you can get a cheap 4K. You can get the cheapest of 4K Blu-ray players from your source there. But it's just like it annoyed me because it was just getting real personal.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Like, I came on the tail end of it. Yeah,
why are you guys so hung up about this?
Yeah.
Well, you would be salty too if a dude jumped in your lane doing your stuff better for cheaper.
Lord Addict, I know how you feel about the PC contingent sometimes. What's your feeling?
No comment.
I'm not letting you go. What do you feel about the whole PCs being compared to Microsoft, the Scorpio, as far as the Digital Foundry comparisons?
My comments is not reserved for a PG.
Oh, okay. I got. But do you at least think it's fair? Do you think it's unfair?
I think they need to stay in their lane.
Oh my God! Yeah, let me keep him on time out because I know where he's going with that. Lord Saul, what do you feel?
Yeah. I mean, I think those comparisons, they've been around for a long time. I know IGN has constantly done the three comparisons, and Nintendo's never really been in the conversations. There's always been PS4,
I got
Xbox
something for
One,
that too,
and PC. So I mean, it's always been there. I just think now it holds more weight because before, like, the difference was obvious, and now the difference isn't so obvious, especially for the price disparity, right? So when you look at what the X is giving you and what a PC is going to give you with a $2,000 PC, what you gain in terms of fidelity and stuff like that, maybe the frame rate stuff is a big deal, but it's not such a huge difference. So I think it still puts the X in a very good light because we're saying this $500 machine is comparable to this. It's not, so far removed that it's like, no, this looks disgusting in comparison. It's not that at all. So I still think the X looks good in that light. In terms of like people's strategy, other strategies against Microsoft, like what I mentioned last week with PlayStation is going to lean into, we have games, they don't have games. Whatever that narrative is, they're gonna flow with that, right? And then they're gonna focus on making their first party stuff look as good as possible, which they're very good at doing. Like Last of Us is gonna look amazing. God of War is gonna look amazing. You know what I mean? So. And then there's no point of comparison there, right? So they're going to lean into that stuff because they have nothing else. They're going to have to take that L for as long as they're going to have to on the Digital Foundry comparisons because it is what it is. Unless they surprise everybody with a PS5 announcement in January or something like that.
It's coming.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
Not next year, but the year after. The year after 2019.
So, Lord King, I'm gonna let you put the icing on your topic. What are you feeling?
Well, what I'm not liking is people don't like, and it's a couple of companies. Is Digital Foundry, is IGN, because they're owned by GameStop, and is this other little weirdo guy. He comes in and he's been doing it for a minute. And I know he's a PlayStation lover. For the simple fact that I saw the Nintendo Switch launched Skyrim. Right? I wasn't going to pick it up because I played Skyrim to death. I wasn't going to pick it up. But I saw it and I was like, wow, it looks really good. So guess what Digital Foundry's comparison to Skyrim was?
What they put it up against?
PlayStation.
Yeah,
PlayStation 4. They put it up against the PlayStation 4 or PlayStation Pro. You know what's funny? That Switch held its own.
It
held its own. But again, my thing is they're always trying to show Sony in this super favorable light.
You really
And
feel so?
anytime that they're gonna take a loss, they're gonna take a hands down beat down, a smashed out bad barn fest, a knockout drag out.
That's when you think they throw the
PC comes
PC
in.
in.
They
Oh,
throw
okay, I see where you
PC.
go.
Big brother comes in the door. Big brother's like, "Don't worry about this. I got you, my dude." Like, no, you don't got nothing. You weigh over 2,000 pounds. Get out of here. It's
You
about
wrong
me
with
and this
class.
lightweight dude. So why are you putting heavyweights in here with these lightweights? Listen, I don't want y'all to get it twisted.
Mhm.
I have my PlayStation. I hate it.
Mhm.
Don't get it twisted. I got games for it. I purchased 2 of them. I got to get rid of them because I'm not using it. I want you to understand. Any game y'all come out with that is multi-plat, Xbox One X is going to stomp it through the floor. And don't even say that. Oh no, it's doing no. You don't do true 4K. You do checkerboard, and even then, you have 1440p. Your 1440p machine. Don't talk about this dynamic 4K. You're not dynamic at all, bro. We know what you're doing. We see the lies in you, and stop getting PC to help you out when you're getting mashed out in the corner.
Let's end this up real quick for my Sony contingent. Come for me.
Come for me.
Yo, Lord Victor Albertine had 2 questions in the chat. One, he was talking about at the do we think there's going to be a reveal at the Game Awards? If we think it's going to be special there, that was one. And the second question he had was do you think Microsoft is getting more into the PC space with the One X, getting their big games and with performance that is relatively close? So let's just answer these 2 questions for our Lord Victor.
Yes,
Anyone
and
feels
yes.
Yes and yes?
Yes,
Think there's going to be a
there'll
reveal?
be some sort of, what does he mean by reveal? What reveal? What in Microsoft reveal?
Reveal games in general, like
Yeah.
from anyone.
That's always the case. I mean, I think Jeff Keighley likes to make sure that people watch that show. So
Well, I
when
think
people,
his specific question is, what do we think would be revealed?
The PlayStation 5. Tech sheet. They're gonna come with a white paper. Watch.
Nah,
I'm done.
I'll tell you right now, what they're gonna do is they're gonna show PUBG on the X with X enhancements.
I like that. I would like that.
Simply because of look at the release date time. It's like what, December the 5th?
Up. You're
PUBG
right.
comes out on the 7th.
Good point, Hank. That it definitely lines up. All right, cool. We're gonna start to close up soon. We got the new ILP poll this week, courtesy of my man Lord Zero. So with the removal of microtransactions from Battlefront 2, EA has stated that they will return in the
Temporarily removal, you mean?
I know that's the caveat. EA has stated that they will return in the future after changes are made to the game. Is this acceptable? A, no. EA should keep microtransactions completely out of the game. B, yes. The business of microtransactions in gaming is not going away. Or C, when can I cop that premium Darth Vader though?
Can I request a 4th option?
What's the 4th option?
Ha ha ha, you're funny. That's
That is the question. Those are the choices. Please rock the vote and hit the ILP Twitter polls hard when it go up. Thank you, Lord Anchorman, for holding down my robot self. Where can the fine people find you and the multiverse brethren?
hating on anything not Bethesda.
Nah, you can find us on this channel here at the Inner Circle Network. We're on Mondays at 8 p.m. We got the Community Game Awards coming out at about the middle period of.
And I believe the Iron Lord podcast is a part of one of those categories.
Yeah.
Very, very honored. Very honored. When the voting is still going on, and when is the actual award?
Voting is ongoing. There's links everywhere. We put out a couple tweets and such. So you want to find out all that good stuff, you can go to the Iron Lord's Twitter account, and you can find all that stuff there. So other than that, though, we're looking at the 18th of December as the award show. It won't be a regular multiverse thing, but it'll be a little award show. To check that out. So be there. It'll be ready.
Nice. We appreciate you. And shout out to the entire multiverse brethren. Also, Tick Podcast that went last night. You always make sure you support the entire network. So we're going to get these outros popping. Lord Addict, where can the fine people find you?
You can find me on Twitter, Lord Addict IOP. You can find me on YouTube, Gaming Addict. You can find me on all my gamer tags. They call it PS. What is that? I know Xbox calls theirs gamer tags. What does
PSN.
PSN call
Oh,
that?
PSN ID.
PSN ID.
yeah.
PSN ID. They're both Room to Kill. I will be streaming Final Fantasy VII probably around 5 today. So if you want to come in through on that one, that's cool.
Saw that stream this morning. It was quite hilarious. I did enjoy it.
But I do want to. I'm not going to thank Anchorman for anything. Okay, that's it.
Savage. Lord Sav, I remembered you now. Where can 5 people find you?
They can find me actually online on PSN and BX Sovereign on both consoles, and Lord Sav ILP on Twitter. And real quickly, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I will not be on next week's show. I will be sitting under a palm tree somewhere. So
getting the Lord into Haiti.
Having that premium experience.
That's
so,
right.
Much love to everyone.
The Lord saw he gave me too much of a premium experience last night. So I was off my game.
Get names and stuff.
Yeah, that was salvage. Salvage a premium experience last night.
Oh my God, I was a mess. Shout out to Lord Saw. When he does it premium, he does it right. Lord King, where can 5 people find you?
You can find me on all social media sites, except for Snapchat. Yeah. Anyway, yo, none of that. I don't care. They dying anyway. I would like to tell my Tick Network brothers, I do watch your guys' podcast. I would love to be in your chats. Y'all just too late at night for me. The King gets up at midnight to go to work, so I go to sleep early. But I do, while I'm at work, listen to you guys, and I swear you guys are hilarious. One of my best podcasts that I do listen to, other than my own, is the Multiverse. I swear, Lord James and Anchor and you guys, I really love
Undead.
Yeah. I really love it. I really love the stuff. So also, I damn sure listen to Brap. I always. So Solid Rev.
This sounds dangerous.
Do I need to end this real quick?
Yeah. No. You need to stay here. Solid Rev. Solid Rev.
Here we go.
Me and you're gonna have words.
Oh no! He's been challenged.
No, it's no challenges. Actually, me and him have the same poster. It's just something that he did the other day that I want to talk to. I'm gonna call him on the carpet of it. Because he's playing in the past, and that 1080 that was lame, bro.
Okay, Lord Simon, we gotta get you back on the show, man. We gotta let you defend your honor. Lord King has called him out to cover this 1080 game. That's what's up.
It was an NVIDIA 1080. It was lame. Bro.
Oh my God! And on that note, it is me, Lord Cognito, here. We're spreading that gaming realness on the ILP. Not telling you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. Thank for everyone for hitting that like and subscribe, hitting the chat hard. Also, don't forget to catch us on iTunes, Google Play, and also the amazing Tick GN Patreon that is in the description. All the help really helps us big time. So, being that I was botting on Anchorman, is gonna have to end the show.
T-shirts inbound. T-shirts
inbound. Make sure y'all see me out here modeling for y'all. So Lord King got me swagged out. All right.
I'm gonna tell y'all what's gonna happen next, and then y'all can hit me up, and we're gonna direct y'all to the website where you can actually purchase.
Guys, hit that like and subscribe, guys. Please hit that like and subscribe.
Much appreciated. And on that note, we are out of here. Lord Anchorman, hit that button, sir.